Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good evening. Today our group G4 represent about casting phosphorus in agriculture, and the presenter is Lutfi Al-Hadi, Nashakila, Shui and Najwa. For the introduction, I will pass to Shui.
So now let us talk about the introduction to phosphorus. The phosphorus is very important to the well-being of the animals and plants because it is contained in numerous essential chemicals that present in the living organism. First is the ATP. The ATP provides the cell with the energy contains phosphorus. The second example is the nucleic acid that perform many tasks in living organisms, also contain nucleic acid. Next example is bonds and teeth. The bonds and teeth were critically developed from the phosphorus. Next, let us talk about the occurrence in nature. Phosphorus usually occurs as a phosphate. The sole imperative commercial source of phosphorus that is used to make fertilizer. The phosphorus also present in the natural substance, both animal and plant-based. The compost and mulch are the important source from the plant world, while the animal contribute to the manure and sewage which can be add liberally to the plant for planting and as a maintenance fertilizer. The phosphorus can also be purchased at nurseries, either on its own or in the mix with the other main nutrients such as nitrogen and potassium. So the phosphorus is the second nutrient that present in the standard fertilizer mix that is labeled with NPK. So next, I will pass the presentation to Shak for the physical property.
Okay, my name is Nashakila binti Muhammad Razwan, AS11881. So I will continue with the physical properties of phosphorus. Okay, there are three types of phosphorus, which is white phosphorus, red phosphorus, and black phosphorus. So we will go through. For the first one is white phosphorus. So what is white phosphorus? White phosphorus is a waxy and transparent solid that have a melting point 44.1 degrees Celsius with boiling point 280 degrees Celsius. So its density is 1.88 gram per centimeter cube. When the white phosphorus is in vacuum, it will submit if exposed to light. And white phosphorus is a phosphorescence which gives striking greenish white glow. And for information, white phosphorus is a bad solvation in water but dissolve well in other liquids. Okay, next, you can see that this is the structure of white phosphorus. And the example of the white phosphorus is carbon disulfide, benzene, and chloroform. Okay, next, we will go through the red phosphorus. So, red phosphorus is produced by heating white phosphorus up to 240 degrees Celsius with catalyst. And the red phosphorus density is 2.34 gram per centimeter cube, which red phosphorus is unable to dissolve in most liquids. Next, this is the structure of red phosphorus. As you can see, these are different with white phosphorus with like three kind of the same thing of white phosphorus. Okay, next is black phosphorus. So black phosphorus is similar to graphite powder, but it is synthesized from white phosphorus under extreme pressure. Its density is 3.56 to 3.83 gram per centimeter cube, and It is electricity conductivity in spite being a non-metal compound. Next, this is the structure of black phosphorus, which is more complex than red phosphorus and white phosphorus. So Najwa will continue with the chemical properties.
Okay, my name is Sashatul Najwa binti Arifin with matrix number AS12222. I will explain about chemical properties of phosphorus. There are 4 reactions of phosphorus with different products. Now I will start with the reaction with oxygen. Firstly, phosphorus exists at room temperature and is very reactive. When it combines with oxygen, it catches fire spontaneously. When white phosphorus reacts without sufficient oxygen, it will produce phosphorus trioxide. But when white phosphorus reacts with sufficient oxygen, it will produce phosphorus pentoxide. Now, I will explain about reaction with halogen. Okay, phosphorus in laboratories is stored underwater for safety measures. Okay, and it can easily combine with halogens such as fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. Bromination of white phosphorus will produce phosphorus tribromide, and the product is also the same for red phosphorus. The reaction when the phosphorus reacts with excess chloride, and bromide to form phosphorus, it will form phosphorus pentachloride or bromide. Depends on what it reacts with. And lastly is the reaction between phosphorus with metal. When phosphorus is combined with metal, it will form compound known as phosphide. For example, when calcium is combined with phosphorus, it will produce calcium phosphide. That's all from me. I will pass to Shui.
So now let us talk about the phosphate fertilizer. The raw material that is used in the manufacture of phosphate fertilizer is the rock phosphate, or also can be known as the calcium phosphate. The production of the it begins with the production of the phosphoric acid by treating finely ground rock phosphate with the sulfuric acid and then be pulverized.
Shui, may I ask
Yes.
you, what will happen to the plants if they lack phosphorus?
So if you see your plants are small, producing little or no flower, hesitant, or a bright print or purplish cap, it actually face the phosphorus deficiency. However, the extra phosphorus can also be a problem too. The extra phosphorus can run off into the water supply and becomes a major contaminant based on the outside source I found. So that's all for me, or any question more? So if no question, I will pass to Luffy for.
Okay. My name is Lutfi Al-Hadi with matrix number AS5 AS1518. Okay, next slide. Okay, what are the concerns? So the phosphorus is an essential element for plant and animal growth, but too much of it can accelerate the natural aging of flakes and seeds. This publication covers essential scientific information about phosphorus and how it behaves in soil, current concern about phosphorus runoff from agriculture, and how farms can manage this nutrient. So the phosphorus can cause the eutrophication, the biological productivity of surface waters by accelerating the eutrophication. And the nitrogen and phosphorus both affect eutrophication, but phosphorus is a critical element in most freshwater, where water salinity increases as in estuaries, generally controls aquatic plant growth.
Okay, this is the figure. As we can see, what are the forms of phosphorus in soil? Soil phosphorus exists in organic and inorganic forms. Each form consists of the continuum of many phosphor compounds existing in equilibrium with each other and ranging from solution phosphorus taken up by plant to very stable or unavailable compound. The most typical in most soil, 50 to 75% of the phosphorus is inorganic. So we can divide into organic phosphorus explanation and inorganic phosphorus explanation. We look back at the figure. Okay, at the figure, inorganic phosphorus compound consists of the 50% and 70%, and organic phosphorus compound which balance each other. And inorganic phosphorus compound before in the ground they are stable, but they can make into readily available by fixation. And also the organic phosphorus compound, they can make into readily available when these two compounds are readily available to plant. The plant ready to take out the phosphorus to become plant fertilizer. And when the plant is died, the phosphorus compound is coming back into the soil. Okay, next. Okay, how does phosphorus behave in soil? Okay, this is the graph of the phosphorus when behave in soil. In most soils, the phosphorus content of surface horizon is greater than that of the subsoil, except in special situation. Added phosphorus tends to be fixed by the soil where it is applied, allowing for little movement down to the soil. In addition, phosphorus above ground parts of the plant and is redeposed in crop residue on the soil surface. This build up organic material and stimulate biological activity in the layer. Okay. For the how does phosphorus?
Okay, so how does phosphorus get into water? So the term agricultural runoff encompasses both surface runoff and subsurface flow, two dynamic and interrelated processes. For example, the surface or overland flow can infiltrate into a soil during movement down a slope, move laterally through the soil and reappear as surface. So this is the figure that I just mentioned just now. So the surface runoff generally occurs only from limited source areas within a watershed. These source areas vary rapidly over time, and it expanding and contracting quickly during a storm as a function of rainfall intensity and duration, antecedent, moisture conditions, temperature, soil topography, groundwater, and moisture status over a watershed. So, because of the surface runoff is the main mechanism by which phosphorus and sediment are exported from most watersheds, it is clear that phosphorus export will be negligible with surface runoff does not occur. Thus, consideration of how water moves where surface runoff occurs is critical to a more detailed understanding of phosphorus export from agricultural watersheds. Also, we can know that the amount of phosphorus loss necessary to cause water quantity problems that usually is very small compared to the amount required by crops or contained in typical manure or fertilizer phosphorus applications. So, consequently, this complicates strategies to change farm management because the loss is too small to show up in most standard practical or economic indicators of production efficiently used for farmers. Okay, so the summary that we get that research and education will increase our understanding and awareness of agronomy, economic and environmental issues related to the nutrients such as NNP. This will enable us to develop sound solutions to these water quality problems while sustaining productive and profitable agriculture. This is not a simple problem as the solution will not be simple, so we must be careful not to jump on seemingly easy solutions such as cross the board limits without carefully considering their implications and looking at possible alternatives. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr.